Hey, what's good? What's going on, everybody? You already know who this is, and it's definitely an utmost higher goddess herself. Shark coming back at you once again here at the P.E.G podcast, man. It's positive energy generation because we dead for life, choosing the positivity through all the negativity that's going on in the world because life be motherfucking life, you heard me? And it's just being honest. Life be life, man. So through all the artists, creators, public figures, influencers, and guests, honorary guests that we have coming in all the time, we decided to dedicate this not only to, well, we dedicate season 5 to the ones that have been affected by the incarceration system, families, friends, loved ones, or whether it was you. We dedicated it to you. But we want to do something a little different today. You know, we always diving into the guests, but I'm going to give you more of these videos and content where you get a chance to dive into me and my crazy topics for today. So today, the topic I got for you is I'm going to give you 5 ways. I'm going to give you 10 ways that we all get in trouble and be illegal in life. But we haven't got caught. But I'm going to name them off, and then I'm going to only talk about the 5 that I feel is very relatable. Okay? All right, so tell me what you think. Put the comments below, like, share, subscribe, and make sure you press that bell for any other things we have going on the show so you don't miss it, okay? So, gotta get into it, right? 10 things that many people do every day. Me, you, mama, daddy, sister, brother, uncle, cousin, nana, pawpaw. We do every day. But they are technically illegal. We just don't get caught. Or it goes unnoticed. But there's somebody who is serving time who have done at least multiple or one of these things. You, me, we just ain't got caught. All right. So we have 1, jaywalking. 2, speeding. 3, illegal downloads. 4, texting and driving. 5, using another person's Wi-Fi without permission. Out here bootlegging. 6, rolling stops. I learned the hard way on that one. 7, littering, which means throwing your trash on the ground. 8, underage drinking. And I know some of y'all plus me have done that too. 9, using fake information online. And 10, trespassing. So out of those 10, the 5 that I feel more relatable that I have done and maybe you have done is jaywalking.
Mike, you gotta stop with this jaywalking.
And so let's talk about it. We got jaywalking. I remember a story where I'm gonna tell you briefly where when I was in college, I had gave my car to my brother and told him like, yo, when I just in case it rain, come pick me up. If not, I'm walking back. Excuse me. And I lived in Starkville, Mississippi, not too far away from Mississippi State. And so I was on the other side of campus over there by the athletic system, you know, basketball, and then had a class over there at the rec center. So when I was in class, it wasn't raining. And when I was walking, it wasn't raining. Halfway through my walk, I'm almost home. It starts to rain on me, right? So I text my brother because I don't have nothing to put my phone in. I just got from the basics, so it didn't matter if I walked anywhere. I would walk anywhere. I didn't have nothing to put my phone in. My pocket really didn't have no pockets because I had on joggers. And so it started to drizzle. And so I text my brother to come get me. Yo, it's raining. Can you come get me? He comes and mind you in a 2-lane, right? And he goes down in the way where he was going past, and I was walking up to him this way. So I was walking up an opposite direction that he was going. So he had to turn around and get in the right lane to pick me up, right? When he picked me up, in the lane that he had to turn around in, I would have to cross the road to get to the car, right? So he said on his way passing, he missed me. I'm standing there, and maybe he did. Who knows? He said he didn't see me. When he turned back around, he spotted me. and I have to walk across the road. So when he went to slow down to stop to let me walk across the road, there was a cop like right there, and he flipped it, whoop, like that, and I was like, I just pointed my brother to keep going because I knew that would be jaywalking. We wasn't by the sidewalk. There was no crosswalk or nothing. Like it was no. When I said sidewalk, I meant we wasn't by a sidewalk and there wasn't a sidewalk, so it wasn't room for me to actually walk, right? And so I decided I wasn't going to do it that day because it was a cop was behind him. But if there wasn't a cop behind him, those people just going to have to wait. I would have jaywalked straight across the road. And then we all have done that before multiple times. I've been driving before and had to put on brakes real quick because somebody jaywalked across the street. These are things that we've all do on a daily basis. We don't necessarily put in our conscience like, yo, this is illegal, even though we know it's illegal. But people have been hit jaywalking. People have lost their lives to jaywalking, and somebody probably had to serve time for jaywalking. Okay, all right, moving on. The next one that I feel is a relatable one. The illegal download one. Everything is streamed live now, so that is what it is. But the other one I feel is texting while driving. Texting while driving, using a mobile phone or texting while driving, which is illegal in so many areas, like so many places. Like you can go down a highway and see you text, you die. Like it may not be that explicit, but I know in New Mexico it was. Like you get off of El Paso base, and it says you text, you die. It be like that. That blunt. And then when you come in and you going off the post, it would have how many people had died within that year. And the crazy part would be we'll be on February and it'll be already in the thousands. And that's how many people have died on post due to multiple things. Jaywalking and texting and driving and all that. Another story. I was in El Paso. I was stationed out there, and I can't remember if it was. I think it was after. I think it was after I got back. I got medical vac back here. I had was over there for 9 months. I probably had 2 months still to do, and I wasn't gonna do an extended, but due to health reasons and my liver shutting down there, I had to be emergency medical leave backed about of the country. All right, so story I was finna tell you. There was this family. There was this NCO I knew him. I didn't know him personally, but we have been in each other's pathway. He was a staff sergeant. I was a sergeant, and we would talk to each other, especially doing accountability and make sure we know where the soldiers are at and being able to be accountable for them. I really only talked to him when it came to not personal, business, professional, like anything that I can learn from him as a higher up. But other than that, it wasn't much because I was in a holding unit. So I was still I was actually supposed to be with the Wounded Warriors Project, and I was with them, but was another story for that. Somehow they got me over to the other people, and that was illegal. But anyway, so I want to say it was before, it was after, but we're gonna keep the story as after because I really don't know before or after. But anyway, I really think it was after we got back, and it had went crazy with people dying and stuff. And I remember the next morning, I had talked to him that morning, and the next morning we had to have a briefing because he had died. And the way he died was he was walking on a crosswalk with his family, and there was a driver that was speeding, and they was speeding, but on base it's only a certain amount of speed you can go, but they was texting and driving. So they texting and driving, speeding and he's on a crosswalk with his family, and they killed him. They killed him, his wife, and his 2 kids. And damn, man, that shook me, man, because I was just talking to this cat yesterday, and we walk on post all the time. When I say we, I wasn't talking about him. I'm just saying soldiers. Soldiers walk on post all the time, special single soldiers, and we'll jaywalk. we'll walk to get to point A to point B, and just that, you thinking people were being safe, and he lost his life not to war, but to someone that was texting and driving. So I say that to say this: please be careful when you're driving. I do not recommend anybody to text and drive. I know that we all do it at some point of time. Even at a stoplight, you'll pick your phone up real quick, text. But get to a stopping point and be able to text somebody. Like, I hate texting and driving. Like it's me. Like, I really hate it. Like, have I done it? Yeah, I do it here and there, but I don't like texting and driving, so you'll hardly ever see me text and drive. I will wait till I get to a stopping point, or I'm at a red light. I'm at a halt of that type of nature, but you would not see me. I could be at the stop sign, and I'm just at the stop sign. Nobody around me, nobody by me. I'm at the stop sign, I'm texting and getting my message out. I would do that because texting and driving it's not it. All right, so we're gonna move on. Texting and driving. Another one is speeding. So you heard me say about the guy, he was speeding and texting and driving. When it comes to speeding, man, like, you have to be accountable and be in the mindset knowing that if you're going 80 miles per hour down the road, then that's how far you're going to be going outside the window. If you don't be safe, if you have an accident, that's the impact. You're going to have 80 miles per hour of an impact on something. All right, so, like, don't speed. Like, in Texas, the speed limit is already 85. Like, in certain parts, 85, 80. There's no reason to be going 90 to 100 on the freeway because you can. Like, it's crazy. Another story. When it comes to speeding, right before we deployed, I got a lot of military stories, but right before we deployed, me and a group of friends, I am not a sociable person, but I would go out and do little subtle stuff. So they're like, hey man, we want to go to the beach. Mind you, at that time I had never been to a beach, and if you're from Mississippi, don't judge me. I did not go to Black Beach. I didn't go to Biloxi. I didn't do none of that because it was a lot of killings and stuff that happened on those trips and stuff, and I didn't want to be that one. But anyway, right before it go, it's me and 3 other battle buddies. We decide let's go to the beach. So it's somewhere in New Mexico. My roommate is driving, and I'm gonna say suite mate because we shared a suite, not a room. My suite mate is driving, and we crossed the border, right? We crossed the little border. We crossed Border Patrol, and right as we crossed Border Patrol, we're the first cars that has the traffic behind us. We crossed Border Patrol, and there was this car, like, it was speeding. And I say it was. All of a sudden, I was like, I was in my phone like this, and I looked up, and I saw the car tumbling, and a bunch of dirt flying behind it, and it was a object that in the air, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, literally, I'm just being raw. Like, yo, y'all see that? And we stopped the car because, mind you, we can't drive. Everybody's halt. Everybody stopped, and we looking at whatever this is in the air, and me and the people in the car, my 3 battle buddies, the only ones that see it, because like I said, everybody's going through Border Patrol, so they're getting checked and stuff. We stop, and whatever it was go in the air, and it smacks the concrete hard, foul, and it slides into I ain't gonna say bushes because in New Mexico there ain't no bushes. Yo, that's like but dirt and cactuses out there, so it was over there in the dirt. And I saw when the car was it was a truck. The truck was driving. It got a lot. It started to do like this, but I thought somebody had like hit him on the tailgate and he was like losing control. Nah, man, he was speeding and fell asleep at the road speeding. And it was a guy. He had no seatbelt on. So what we saw come out the car was his body. And then it had to be 3 to 4 stories high. Like, he was really high in the air. He was really, really high in the air. And it was like, I can't explain it because if you can go look at the highest tree that you got in your yard, put another tree on top of it. That's how far he shot out the window. And so we're the only one that saw it. We in the 2 lane. So this 2 lane here is going one way, and where they were is going the other way. So there's no way we can get hit because we're the ones in front of the line. So as we pull to the side and stop. The whole traffic behind us stopped. We get out the car and they like, wait, what'd you see? What'd you see? I saw him when he hit the concrete. So I'm like, he's over there. We look both ways and we cross the road. We go to the other side. Traffic stopped back there. The car that was in front of him stopped in front. We're looking for him. Everybody's like, where is that? All I can hear is screaming. All I can hear, listen what I'm saying, is screaming. And everybody, I couldn't hear nothing. And I'm just looking and looking and looking. And some told me, just keep walking, keep walking. And I walk and I saw his hands. And I shit y'all not. This guy that was in front of him was like, hey, we gotta turn him over, because his face was in the dirt. Like, he could not breathe. His face was like covered in the dirt. He was like, it was covered in dirt. I didn't want to touch him because in the military, I'm not a medical person. Like, in the military, like on the outside, I got certified with medical assistant. I got healthcare administrator. I had CPR license. But in the military, you touch them, you can be liable to be sued. That's like, and I wasn't a nurse in the military, so I wasn't obligated to stop. But I wasn't obligated to touch him either, because I saw how he smacked the ground. So I was like, no, don't turn him over. We just move his head. By this time, they turned him over, and you saw his rib cage just collapse. So his whole left side just sunk in, and he started breathing so much worse, like, and that I all this is happening while screaming is going on. So I don't know how to feel. I'm trying to figure out what to do. I'm looking at this guy, and when they turned him over, like where I saw his hand had detached from his limb, like from his arm. So there was a little ligament that was still connected his arm to his hand. And so right there, when you bend your wrist, that little joint right there, bam, it was one little ligament right there that was holding it together. And on both sides, they was hanging. I have never seen that in my life. Like, it was like out of a anime show. Like, boom, hands detached from his body. And when they turned him over, I saw a cut across his head. So I'm like, don't touch it, because I'm thinking like maybe he just got cut. And he moved, because now nobody wants to touch him. Like, the guy, he had to stay with Border Patrol because he touched him. We sitting there looking. I know we have to leave. So I'm like, bro, what the fuck? I'm looking at him. He's barely breathing. And that's when I go behind him to like kind of assess, and his cranial had opened, like his skull. You ever seen on a movie where they cut the brain and they make the little mark around the head, and then they cut it and they just split it open like on a cartoon? That's what I saw, this man's brain, bro. And I was like, oh my God, mind you, I have never seen shit like this before ever in my life. And so as we doing that, like, mind you, this is happening fast. I go, I can't touch him. Yo, his brain. So I'm pointing out the brain to everybody. Everybody go, oh shit. And they step back. So one of my battle buddies starts sprinting hard as shit to Border Patrol to go get their attention, because mind you, we've been over there about 5-10 minutes now. Traffic has halted, so we thinking that somebody has seen us, and Border Patrol, there was no ambulance yet. I'm so fearful for this guy. The screaming got even louder, and when I turned around to see like if there cause anybody in the car, I automatically saw car seats. So I'm already about to be in tears, because I'm like, I can't, not with kids, bro. And his wife jumps out the car. Mind you, this is the same car that tumbled 4 or 5 times, and he shot up out the air. So that let us know that he didn't have a seatbelt on, and she did. He fell asleep at the wheel. And this is what they told us later on. He fell asleep at the wheel and slid off the road when he hit the dirt patch. That would make him get back on the road, but he couldn't straighten up in the truck that he had, and it flipped. So, and it's because he was going really fast. He was going pretty fast. And with no seatbelt. And yo, I ain't gonna lie. She jumped out the car. I turned around because I knew what I saw I couldn't handle. And she just started screaming and yelling in Spanish. Whatever he said. Mija, like, I don't know how you say husband, but like, that's what she was saying. I can't remember the name, but I know she was saying mijo, like, and it wasn't her son either. So like, I probably got it all wrong. Don't listen to me. I don't speak Spanish. But anyway, She was saying stuff in Spanish, and she kept saying God, like Jesus Christ, Spanish. And I'm like, what the fuck? So everybody is shocked. Nobody's touching nobody. We waiting for people to come back. People in the car start getting out. The guy in front of me saw, stopped and tried to help. And I turned around, she started charging toward him, and I just wrapped my arms around her and just gave her the biggest hug and started squeezing. That was the strongest little lady I ever seen in my life. She bucking and kicking. I'm just trying to be in her way so she can't see her husband. Yes, she probably saw him. She woke up to a whole window with a hole in it. She was asleep. So apparently the story went she was asleep in the car, fell asleep, he's driving, and they're on their way back from New Mexico. I guess the beach, that's what they was telling us, and he fell asleep with no seatbelt on, and it was 2 car seats in the back, and I just like, damn, I couldn't get over that. Like we went to the beach, but then when we finally got border patrol to come and assess it, we all dipped. Like we couldn't be there, so we all leave before the ambulance get there. We go to the beach, and that was the most quiet. That was the most quietest freaking ride of my life. The most awkward freaking ride of my life. The most tears and sorrow and grief of a ride that I ever had in my life. And we didn't even know him. And we searched all night from hospital to hospital to find that guy, to see if he made it, if he was okay. And nothing. I really think that man died that night. And there are two car seats that they had. So somebody lost a father. Somebody lost, if it was a pawpaw, he was a pawpaw. Somebody lost a pawpaw. Like, speeding really can change your life. You can die. So stop speeding. If you late for work, nigga, you late for work. Okay? You're not going to get there if you die. Okay? So that's just the story I had to tell you. Like, that fucked us up right before deployment. And so when we get to the office, because 3 of us, me including 2 more soldiers, I was the only sergeant, the other 2 were specialists. We was all in the same unit. The other sergeant that was in the car, he was part of another brigade, which is on the other side of Fort Hood. And excuse me, when we got there, I'm usually perky at work. I'm usually the one talking noise, talking shit. I worked in a motor pool, so I'm like the light of the motor pool. Like the motor pool can be daunting, it could be sad, it could be depressing, and it's full of guys. I'm gonna come in there and I'm gonna talk noise, I'm gonna talk shit early in the morning. Nah, none of this happened. And immediately my sergeant knew. He's like, yo, you good? No, and he tried to talk to the other soldier. She was just like trying to hold tears back, and then he asked her, was she good? She just bawled like, ugh. I'm like, oh shit. So they're like, what's wrong? What happened? And I told them what happened. All 3 of us had to go through counseling. Just imagine. Then the next day we had to go to deploy in the comeback zone. Yep. All right, anyway. That was my second one. My third one, so we had jaywalking. No, that's my third one. Speeding. My second one was texting and driving. My third one was speeding. The fourth one, I would say, I'm not going to say it happened to me, but we're going to say it happened to me, is using another person's Wi-Fi without their permission, which is connecting to a neighbor's Wi-Fi network without their consent. Yo, that's freaking illegal. Story time. Me and my mom and my brother, it was just us growing up. We had moved into this complex where we stayed on the top floor. It was really nice. We went to another middle school and all that stuff. And anyway, as we get there, whatever, there was a point, probably when we first moved there, I think it was like the first month, maybe the second month. I don't know. We probably, let me say, let's give this timeline like this. We was probably there for like 3 months. And somebody moved out one of the other apartments. Like, my mom was really cool with them, and it was an older lady. She moved, right? Miss Barbara. Shout out to Miss Barbara. But I think Miss Barbara passed away now, so R.I.P. I love Miss Barbara. But anyway, Miss Barbara, she moved, and like, you gotta cut your lights off and your Wi-Fi and stuff. Yo, our lights went off. Our whole everything with the electricity went off. Like, my mama had just paid for the rent. She paid for the lights. So I know the Wi-Fi was good. So I'm like calling my mama like, cause I had a little turf. I'm like, Mom, the phone, the internet out. She like, internet? It shouldn't be out. I just paid it. Nah, it took her about a week to get that situated. And come to find out, so, mind you, we didn't have cable. We was watching whatever came on regular cable. So it was only like 3 shows, and it was Housewives of Atlanta. That's when it first came out. Grey's Anatomy, and what was the other show me and my mom were like? I can't even think of it this time, but it's when it first came out. It's so all these shows are so far into seasons now. I don't even watch them. But anyway, that's all we had. Maury. That's all we had. You know, SpongeBob come on the weekend. And so it went out. We didn't have nothing in the beginning. And my mom was like, oh heck no. Like she was trying to get the get some cable services and stuff, but we had just got there and it was in school, in summer school, so it really didn't matter. And that's when we found out, my mama had found out somebody had been boosting that lady's cable and all that. So they had for some reason they found out that they thought Miss Barbara was in that apartment. So when they cut her apartment off, our apartment went off because it was under the same name. So yo, don't be doing that shit, because my mama had to prove to them that she only been living there for like 3 months, but this service was going on for about a year, so it saved her. But what if it didn't? What if she had been there for a year and it couldn't explain it? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, Miss Barbara didn't move and we was there for a year and these services went on for a year. Like, we could have been looking at a whole different life. My mama could have been looking at a whole different life. So don't be out here boosting nobody cable. You at least ask your neighbor so your neighbor can know. All right, it ain't like using somebody Netflix. You know what I'm saying? It's you're using somebody Wi-Fi services for real, and they don't know it. All right. So that was the fourth. The first, like I said, we're going back over. The first one is jaywalking. Second one is texting and driving. Third one is speeding. Fourth one is using someone's another person's Wi-Fi without their permission. And my fifth one, out of all this stuff, is underage drinking. Yeah, underage drinking. All right. So we all are guilty of underage drinking. I'm 30, so I'm definitely going to share my story. We all have done it, whether it's at the house with the family or at the house with a loved one or a friend. We all have done it at some point. We wasn't all 21 when we got our first drink, right? So story time. Last story. Anyway, last story. So underage drinking. Again, I'm overseas, and I think the drinking age for over here, the drinking age over here is 21, but over in certain countries, depending on where you go, the drinking age is 17. And some of them can be 16, to be honest. And yo, that was live. It was lit for some people. Like, so you gotta think of it. You got teenagers that's coming into it straight out of high school, some of them. So you got 18, 19, 20-year-olds, right? So the 18-year-olds definitely cannot drink. Ain't nobody giving y'all a drink, right? Unless you in the barracks and you drinking on the low. But we are overseas and they give us a card because the drink age limit was like 17 or something like that. And I shit you not, I was the only person out of all the people that was there. I was the only person out of the whole brigade, the only person that did not, listen what I'm saying, did not get their drinking card. I left it because I didn't want to drink nothing. First of all, I don't understand why you paying $20 on a shot. I do not understand why you paying $10 on a shot or $15. The shots on base, their minimum was $15 a shot, and you only could get what three shots before they take the card from you, and you had to use it again like the next day. Like, what the fuck? 10. That's $30, and the bottle don't even cost that. Get out of here. I was not that type of person. That was wasting money for no reason. Like, there was no access to alcohol on base where you can go into the PX and then just get alcohol. Nah, they had a certain events that was out and you could order alcohol if they had it. A damn beer was like $10 or $15. Like, fuck no, I'm not spending that. So, but we had people stand on top. We had people that had never drunk. They probably drunk on the low, underage. But this one guy, I'm not gonna name his name, but he was the youngest in the unit, and he was a happy guy. Not no more. Like, after that, he became what everybody else became. Because everybody was trying to hide their emotions and the things that they're dealing with overseas, and all the emotion that comes with it, and then the attachment from it. They was dealing with that, and then the bullshit that we have to deal with, and the stress level and the anxiety level that we have to deal with overseas. So you needed a stress level. I just went to the gym. Now, did I want alcohol? No, not really. I don't drink. Like I told you, I'm not a drinker. Probably wanted to smoke if you had one, but over there, you probably was smoking camel manure. Not cow, but camel manure. I ain't smoking nothing y'all giving me. I don't trust nobody, so I didn't do nothing. Nothing. Like, you can't smoke in the military, no way. But I didn't do nothing. I was a goody two-shoe over there. And I seen people that were younger than me that was getting kicked out. One guy got kicked out, failed to adapt, and was in AAA. Like, what the fuck? How can you explain that? I was in the military for 2 years. I went in at 19, got out at 21, 22. Why? Drinking. That shit follows you. And it just didn't matter. It just didn't. So many people there became alcoholics and they drink now when they wasn't drinking at all because nobody would give them anything. But that's why we have age limit here. Over there in other countries, the reason why they age limit is lower because they think we don't know how to handle our liquor here.
I'm not.
Over there, they know how to handle their liquor. A wine or a beer here or there, they good. They not drinking and gluttony. They're not doing none of that like we do over here. So that's why the age limit is different. And then that's why you don't have so many people that are dealing with alcoholism. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm not saying that you can't go statistically and look it up and be like, well, they drink alcohol in Dubai. They drink alcohol in over there. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the reason why in certain countries you can drink at a younger age because they are not pressed to party and get drunk every day like we are. All right, so that was my spirit. Out of all the 10 ways that we all could be in jail right now, but it's minute. My 5 of what it was: jaywalking, speeding, texting and driving, drinking underage, and I cannot remember the last one. I mean, I think the drinking underage was the last one. Using another person's Wi-Fi without permission. Now, like, I can probably find a story in each one of those that I said, but like, those are the ones that I found very, very relatable to me, and I've seen it affect other people's lives. So please don't let this be you. I love everybody, and I just wanted to take a peek into, like, don't judge nobody just because they in jail or just because they did time. Like, don't judge nobody. We don't know what the time was that they did. We don't even know why they in there. Like, there's people that's in jail right now for selling alcohol back in the day when it was illegal. There's people now serving time for weed, marijuana, to where they're making it legal. You know, it's just in Killeen in Texas, like, there are certain places where you can drive around with at least 2 ounces on you and not get in trouble. 4 ounces on you and not get in trouble. But these same people that was doing it when it was illegal, they was hunting in on it. Just because nobody's paying attention to you doesn't mean it can't be you. So don't judge nobody. All right, I always be a helping hand. And nobody told you today, tomorrow, yesterday that they love you. Yo, Shar from the P.E.G podcast, I love you. And nobody tell you that. Know that I do. So stop crying. And again, don't judge nobody. Help somebody. I love you today. Love you tomorrow. Make sure you go tap into the positive energy generation community on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. That's PEG_podcast. Just type in PEG podcast and it'll pull up. Also, go and get you some affirmation merch. Surround yourself with affirmations. You're great. You're amazing. You're amazing. You're worthy. And life be life. And so go get you some affirmation merch. Surround yourself with some positivity so you can change your environment and manifest what you really want. All right. That's at www.pegstyles.com. Again, www.pegstyles.com. I love y'all. And yo, I see you next time here at the PEG podcast, man. Let's get it. Yeah, let's go. Ah!